What's up, people? Man, so my girlfriend and I, we've been dating for a couple years. Whenever we first started dating, I made a playlist with like 4 or 5 songs on it to play every time we hooked up. But it turned out to be a bad idea because after a couple years of playing the playlist every time, man, I've never made it out of the first song. Shit's fucked up. So I have to ask my girlfriend, I'm like, okay, well, what's the one song you think we should play whenever we hook up? She said for me, she had like a special song in mind. She didn't know the name of it, but it's in a lot of cartoons and shit. It turned out she was talking about this song. We have a great relationship though, I promise.
Is that how long it lasted?
Yes. Her and I were talking about giving each other a hall pass the other night, and she asked me if she gave me a hall pass, who would I use it on? And I told her, I was like, man, if I ever meet Megan Fox, I would love to use a hall pass on Megan Fox. And then I had to ask my girlfriend, I was like, okay, if I give you a hall pass, who would you use it on? She told me she wanted to use her hall pass on this guy named George, that's a bartender at Pluckers we go to every Saturday. Say, nah, it don't work like that. No. My girlfriend's actually Asian. We've been working out. She's been working out a lot. She does a lot of squats. She has really strong legs and shit. The first time we hooked up, I had to open up her legs and they were really strong. I told her legs remind me of the chopsticks you get at restaurants that are attached to the top. Yeah, break her apart. She loves me though. She knows I'm not racist at all, I even went to a Black Lives Matter protest last year in May, the first one that happened here in Austin. I was high as shit though. I knew I had to stop and grab some milk for when the officers used pepper spray. But when I got to the store, I was so high, I picked out chocolate milk. Who don't like chocolate milk, right? But when it got time to use it, because I got sprayed by the police, I found myself standing in the middle of a Black Lives Matter protest with chocolate face. It was not a good look. I was showing my daughter some old movies the other night, and we came across the old movie Beethoven. It's about this big dog, and the family falls in love with the dog, and it's a real wholesome movie about a dog, Well, my daughter really liked that movie. She kept asking me for a damn dog. And I told her, they made a Beethoven 2, like a sequel. She got super excited. And then I popped in this movie called Cujo. It's about this big dog that gets bit by a bat and gets rabies and kills its family. She stopped asking me for a dog. I like to get high and watch a lot of movies. The other night I was watching Freddy Krueger, Nightmare on Elm Street. I don't know if y'all remember that shit, but Johnny Depp is in that movie. He's the first one to die. He gets swallowed up by the bed and shit. Well, I finished that, and then I put in Edward Scissorhand with Johnny Depp, and I was so high, I thought that shit was a sequel. I thought it was like Freddy Krueger's gay son grew up to be a hairdresser or some shit. I started smoking weed at a young age. One time I was a freshman in high school with a group of kids, and we were smoking a joint behind the school. And we were almost finished with it, and the campus police officer came rolling up on us, and we had to throw the joint away. And the officer was like, hey, I know y'all are back here smoking, and of course we're like, nah, not us. And the officer said, well, it's very simple, let me smell all you guys' hands, and if your hands smell like marijuana, then I know you were smoking. And so he starts going down the line, smelling all of our hands, and luckily I'm at the end of the line. So I start putting my hands all in my ass crack, all in my sweaty balls and shit. Finally, the cop gets up to me and he's like, okay, Andrew, let me smell your hands. They didn't smell like weed, but I still got in trouble. Sometimes when I get really high, man, I get dyslexic, like my numbers would get backwards. I was playing a video game, Madden, with a friend, and the score was 23-32, and I didn't know if I won or lost. That same night, I was on the internet doing the ancestry test, you know, like the 23andMe or whatever the fuck, you know. I was so high by the end of it, the only thing I remember is I'm like 75% water or some shit. I'm from Texas, born and raised here in Texas. And I always forget my passwords. But there's one thing I always remember, so I changed all my passwords to remember the Alamo. My friend hates it when I tell stories when I'm high because I always say that I was like something. I was telling him a story. I was walking down the street and this guy bumped into me. And I was like, man, fuck you, you're a fucking asshole, you know, all this shit. My friend was like, damn, you really said that to him? I said, nah, but I was like that though. I like to go to work high too. Sometimes it gets me in trouble. Nice. I was in a manager meeting with my boss one time and she was telling me I have to start mentoring the employees. She was like, Andrew, when I say mentor, what do you think the definition of a mentor is? I said, oh, that's that half bull, half human thing, right? A mentor. Alright guys, I'll leave you with this one right here, man. Like I said, I'm from Texas, born and raised here in Texas, and going to a lot of my family's weddings. I saw that they always threw rice at the bride and groom after they got married, and I asked my mom about it, and she told me it's like tradition, it's for good luck or something, and I thought I was going to do that for tradition until I proposed to my Asian girlfriend. I think that'd be fucked up, my family just start throwing rice at her after they get married. Alright guys, that's my time. Thank you everybody.